Hello everyone and welcome back to my booktube, Ash's Reads. Today we're going to be talking all things spicy romance books, and I'm talking about my favorite 5-star romance reads of this year, a couple from last year, all of my favorite ones that I recommend to anyone who asks me for a good spicy rom-com with humor and spice and all the good feelings that you get when you read these kinds of books. So let's get into it. Okay, the first one I'm going to be talking about is this beautiful book right here, Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. It was amazing. I loved it. Everything about it. I cried lots. Oh, it traumatized me, okay? I was bawling like a baby, like ugly sobbing, but it was so worth it. It's about happiness all through here. Great, lovely, beautiful happiness. And then it's pain, 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 and then, you know, you get some closure and it's not that bad. But it was great. It's like a college romance. There's a bit of a sports romance, but it's not as sports romancy as other sports romances. It's definitely more in the background, but this is for sure more like a college kind of love triangle romance. I don't know, a lot of people don't like love triangles, but this, okay, it was infuriating at some points. Like one of the guys I was so angry at, but the other one just melted my heart. It was so beautiful. The spice was about a 2-star. I wouldn't say it was like super spicy. There are some spicy scenes, but it's very much a slow burn build up to what happens, and it's not like super explicit, but it is saucy, okay? But if you like the right amount of spice and the perfect amount of romance and a whole lot of pain, then I would read Say You Swear. It was a 5 out of 5 for me. The next books I would like to talk about is part of a series, and I only own the first one and the third one. I do not own the middle one yet. I will soon because I love them all, and it's a Not So Meet Cute, and then a long time coming. The middle one, like the second one, is So Not Meant to Be. All 3 of the books, 5 out of 5. I love them. I love them so much. Megan Quinn, I don't know what she's putting in her books, but it's freaking addictive. Her books are so funny. She is hilarious. Her humor, I will be like, so I listened to these on Audible, loved them, had to buy them. That's how much I love them. Okay, I was literally walking around doing my groceries, listening to this, out loud laughing in public. I was so embarrassed, but I was like, honestly, this is so funny. So these are billionaire romances. The first one is like a fake dating, unlikely alliance / rivals to lovers, and it is so spicy. It is so hot. Huxley, whew, yeah, man. Very nice. The second book, So Not Meant to Be, is enemies to lovers. It is the middle brother, JP. Oh, JP is just like, he's the boy that you think is like a total F-boy, but his little beautiful heart and his birds, you know, if you know, you know, okay? Honestly, JP's book was so funny and not as spicy as the first one, but still so good. And then Breaker Kane. Breaker can just like have my soul. He can have my, like, every, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but he can have it, okay? Breaker's book was so spicy. It's delicious. This is like the ultimate friends to lovers. So basically she gets engaged and he realizes, oh my gosh, I actually do have feelings for you. I need to do something about it. And it is the best slow burn, like teasing tension, and then once they get down to, you know, the stuff, and it is very good stuff. When somebody asks me for a good romance book recommendation, these are the books that I hands down tell everyone to read. The audiobooks are also incredible. I've listened to all 3 audiobooks. The narrators are amazing. I love them. So if you do not have the physical copy and you don't have a Kindle or the app, try Audible because they're great. I'm going to be circling back to sports romance for a second because I want to talk about Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, because I absolutely loved this book. It had great humor, it had great characters, the found family was amazing, the side characters were great, I love them and I want books about all of them. The spice was so good, like there was a lot to, like I was reading and I was like, there's more, there's more. Not that I'm complaining, like, at all. If you are not a fan of the miscommunication trope, then you'll love this, because there's actually communication in this. They communicate so well, and the main character goes to therapy, and she's learning to deal with all of her emotions. This is like a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. She's a figure skater who is training for the Olympics, and he is an ice hockey player, and he's the captain, and he's super, like, friendly and outgoing, and always wants to do the best for his team. It was so good, and I'm pretty sure I finished this in like a day and a half. I just couldn't put it down. It was so addictive, and it is so nice when you find a book boyfriend who is like book husband material. That's what Nathan Hawkins is, okay? Book husband material. Okay, the next books I'm going to be talking about is another billionaire romance. There is 4 brothers, so there's 4 books this time, plus a novella that has just come out. I'm obsessed with these books. They are one of the first romance audiobooks I listened to, not fantasy or dark romance. It's just strictly romance, and it is by T.L. Swan. The Miles High series. I only own Tristan's book, so this is book 2, The Takeover. The first book is The Stopover. Oh my gosh, you guys, these books are amazing. They are so addictive. Again, the characters are so relatable. Like, no matter what, each book you'll 100% find a character that their personality just relates to you, or something that they've been through relates to you. This one here is a single mom. She has 3 boys, and Tristan is like fish out of water. He doesn't know what to do with children, and it's so funny. Like, every single person I've talked to about this particular book, they said they were like in hysterics laughing at what happened, and so I had to buy it. I listened to all 4 books on Audible. Again, the narrators amazing, love them, and I plan to buy the other books soon. They're just a bit expensive to get to New Zealand. So the first book, The Stopover, is like an office romance. He's the CEO. She ends up working for him. So they meet on a plane, have like a little bit of a meet cute kind of thing. They end up having like a layover, like the plane has to stop, like the stopover. And they end up sleeping together, and he blows her mind. She blows his mind. But then he leaves and they don't see each other ever again until she finally gets this job. I think it's like a year later, and he is the CEO. So it's office romance. There's so much tension. It's delicious. He's like super grumpy, she's sunshine, and I loved it. So then there's The Takeover, which I've already explained what that one was, and then there's The Casanova, and he's like the playboy, good-looking guy. This is enemies to lovers, again, office romance. And oh my gosh, this one, the plot is so good. The plot, I think this is more plot driven than the other ones. The other ones are more like romance driven, but the plot in this one was really cool. I did guess what was gonna happen, but a few of my friends that I know read this as well did not guess what was going to happen. But that's only because when I'm reading it, I sit there and I'm like, I'm an overachiever. I'm going to like guess what happens and just ruin it for myself. And then the 4th book, oh, Friends to Lovers. I never used to like Friends to Lovers, okay? I was strictly, I'm enemies to lovers. I still love me enemies to lovers. But then I read this book. I read The Do-Over. This was the book that changed my view on Friends to Lovers romances. It was beautiful. It was a slow burn. They are on this like trip around Europe, and they're backpacking. They don't know each other. They meet backpacking, have this like insane chemistry, but then they realize we're going to be together for like a really long time, traveling with our group of friends. If we get together, something could happen and ruin it, and so they make a pact not to sleep with each other. You can imagine the tension. It was so good. So if you need a bingeable series, I would 100% recommend the Miles High series by T.L. Swan. Any T.L. Swan book, honestly. Let me know if you have read any of those books, because I need people to discuss them with, because they are some of my absolute favorites. And if you would like a part 2, because I feel like I have so many other ones that I could talk about, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys are reading at the moment, if there's anything good, anything you would recommend. And if you're not, again, following me on TikTok, it is ashsreads, and if you're not following me on Instagram, it is ashs_reads, and we can connect on there as well.